3, 2, 1.
Here we go!
What is up? It is Wednesday. This is what I do with my hand when our song plays. It just moves. It's a xenomorph. I used to do that. I actually used to do that to my brother when we were kids. I'd go, oh no, it's happening. And he would know. The first time, obviously, he had no clue what I was talking about. But after a while, I'd go, it's happening. And he'd be like, don't you do it. If you hit me, I'm going to punch you so hard, because he's my big brother. And I'm like, I can't help it, Matt. I can't help it.
So you were a puncher.
Oh, yeah.
See, ours was the claw, like the claw machines. It's like, the claw is coming for you. I still do that, actually, to my kids and my niece and nephew.
Well, your kids deserve it, though.
Hey, what's pop culture?
Sure. So we have a big show, so we're just going to dive right in. So we were at a convention this past weekend, and it was just a one-day show. It's about an hour from here. It was a nice little show. There was only 5 dealers.
It was Lexington. Larry puts on a nice little show. It's literally in the middle of nowhere, but it's great to go up there and help it. So, we always, they had some good dealers. He always does. And there was some good stuff, and Andy and I went shopping.
Yes, we did. We're not going to run through everything. I'm just going to hold my smattering like this. These are Batmans, early Batmans, and Detective. What are you knocking over?
Everything.
Damn it. Early Batmans and Detective comics, and they all have one thing in common, in that they are all drawn by the very awesome Don Newton. I love Don Newton's artwork, so I am in the midst of collecting every issue of Batman and Detective he did. Sad that he didn't do a ton, so I can actually collect them all. It would have been nice if he did more. He unfortunately passed away in the early 80s at a young age. I think he was only 42.
Yeah, early 40s.
Yeah, he was early 40s when he passed away, but he's just a phenomenal artist. I think he's one of the best Batman artists. So that sums up what I got pretty nicely. Bunch of Batman, actually 2 issues of Batman and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 issues of Detective. I think I've only got 5 or 6 issues to go, and I will have all the Don Newton Batman work that he did. So that's my stash.
I am a lot more eclectic in terms of what I pick up.
I have a mission. When I go, and that was the mission.
Oh yeah, you do.
That was the mission.
I have things that I have holes that I always have to fill, so I'm always on the lookout for it. But I always find things. Hogan's Heroes. Photo cover. It is love Hogan's Heroes.
What was the actor's name again for the main character?
Bob Kane.
Bob Kane. I wonder if that has any of the kinky stuff Bob would do in it. Remember, you know.
Yeah,
about him, right?
yeah. I don't think they would have put that into the comic book. It's another one you don't want to try to open.
No, I'm not going to.
But it's just classic. My wife loves Hogan's Heroes. I love Hogan's Heroes. I saw it. I'm like, you know what? I don't own any of the Hogan's Heroes. I had to pick it up. Yeah, what the heck? Happy Days. That's issue number 2. I picked up number 1 about 2 or 3 cons back. And I'm like, yeah, if I can find some nice looking Happy Days, come on. Who doesn't love the Fonz? Yeah.
Sunday, Monday, Happy Days. Tuesday, Wednesday.
Wolverine. Anybody know why that's a fun little comic book?
Because it's Wolverine.
It is, but it's actually theoretically the first appearance of X-23 in the test tube. So, it's always fun. It's a book that always seems to get a little bit of heat on it. If I can find a book for like that for $5, I'll always pick it up. It's just fun.
$5.
So $5 for me, that was just kind of a no-brainer. Larry, of course, everybody knows this is what I'm putting in. Woo!
Star Trek.
2 more of my Gold Key Star Treks he had. So he picked up another collection. So I'm working on it, baby. Working on it. Now, this book I took a lot of crap from Andy on.
Jesus Christ, because you're gay.
Kool-Aid Man!
Guys,
Come on.
this is the day Dennis comes out of the closet. His wife is actually his beard. He bought Kool-Aid Man. You know what
I
that is, right?
literally bought Kool-Aid
You
Man.
know what the term beard means, right? When a guy has a beard for a wife.
No.
You don't?
No.
Seriously?
No.
Oh, it means
And if we get a
it means-
strike, that's
it means you're gay, and she's your wife, as in your beard, to show that you're not gay.
Wow. You.
Because of Kool-Aid Man.
I'm telling you, Kool-Aid Man. I had all of these Kool-Aid Man comics as a kid. Oh yeah. Issue 80.
Issue number 80. Go out and get it, or I have one right here. I'll sell you for $10.50. $10.50.
Come on, if you guys don't like Kool-Aid Man, I can't help it. I had those as a kid. They were giveaways. So there were different ways to get them, but you'd have to save up the UPCs and send them in. That's just I got rid of them all.
I had Underoos as a kid. Guess what? I don't have anymore.
I did too.
See,
I had Yoda.
So sometimes you don't need stuff that you had as a kid. You let it go.
Or you recollect it.
Nice.
Sorry.
Dan DeCarlo, I'll give you that. Dan DeCarlo cover art. So Dan's a good artist.
Kool-Aid Man. Marvel Special Edition. You should have come through with the paper.
That's right. That's what you should have done.
You know what?
Way to let the show down.
If Andy had paper here, I would have. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, now that was more like Macho Man right there. Now this one is this was in a really nice shape. It's the Marvel Special.
That is nice.
They're reprints, but it was in nice shape. So I kind of did that.
Oh, only 2 pieces.
Marvel presents the Guardians. I already had that one.
That's not a first appearance or anything. It's just
No. It's just a good storyline. Quasar #1. Come on, Wendell
Are you
Vaughn.
kidding me? You seriously bought a Quasar #1?
Yeah, for $3. I needed to buy something for the guy. I felt kind of bad, and I already got Quasar #1, but
So
that's
now
fine.
you already have it as well.
Uh-huh.
So why did you need? Did you buy other things from him?
Need it. Yeah, I bought a couple other things, like this one, Battle of the Planet.
Now that is cool.
7 Zark 7. Come on. Love Battle of the Planet. So I was thrilled to get this one, the Gold Key issue #3. You don't see these very much. It's not like they're expensive books.
No,
but, you just don't see
No, that's
them.
not true. Some of these Battle of the Planets I've seen are like upwards of $20.
Okay, like I said,
It
not
must be the
expensive
shape.
books.
Oh, shut up. Yeah, dude, Absorbing Man.
Look at
on
that.
the cover right there. Beautiful Jack Kirby, Vinnie Coletta.
Yep. It was just a good issue. Like I said, it was in good shape.
Yeah, no, this is nice.
Come on.
I
Buck
agree.
Rogers #7. I'm trying to finish off that little series. So this one wasn't in great shape, but it did fill a hole. And I really do want to get all the Buck Rogers that were, based off of the TV show. My buddy Chris came over this weekend. We did a whole charcuterie board of all that cheese and bratwurst. And he brought over, and he's got the Buck Rogers fighter, and it is full size where you can fit Buck and Tweaky or Wilma in it with all the decals. It was great. It was a 3D printed one that he bought from a guy that he does them. Fantastic. I mean, that's just great
when I
stuff.
thought he couldn't get any gayer. Here comes the next one.
Come on. Seriously. We're having words after this show. Come on. A-Team, another one I had when I was a kid.
Gold Keys and Whitminster. I thought you already bought a #1 at the
No, this was my
I swear I thought
no,
you did.
there's no way you thought that.
I seriously thought you already had this.
No, I did years ago, and when I got rid of Purge some stuff that was on it, I should have just kept it because I always liked it.
You were right.
Mr. T, I pity the fool.
I pity the
Fool who don't buy my comic books.
Now on my, I'm not going to get up and get them, but I will say that I can't really give you shit for it because on my spin rack next to my desk, I do have the Mr. T comic, but I have it because Neil Adams drew it.
Oh, that's because it's Mr. T and the T-Force.
That's right. And Neil Adams drew it. So
yeah, that is true.
I pity the fool that looks at my junk.
I don't. I am just looking at my comics. Look at that. This one is the Adventure. Yep, Adventure Comics. Planet of the Apes. Now, come on. There's got to be some Planet of the Ape fans out there. Love Planet of the Apes, issue number 2. I didn't have it. I'm like, kind of need to for the price.
But you have number 1.
No. So now I'm going to collect the whole thing. Well, you didn't have a number 1. Otherwise, I would have bought it.
See, that's where we differ. I would have been like, oh, no number 1. Guess I'm not getting number 2 then.
You eventually will get number 1. You just got to get what. I mean, how often do you see that version? You don't.
No, that's true.
Come on, Marvel Milestone. It is not a great shape one, but it is an X-Men, even though it's a reprint, and I've got many versions of it. I don't have that particular one. I'm a completist. I'm bad. Heroes Return, Fantastic Four.
Alan Davis, good stuff.
Yep, I found out I already had that one too, so that's a double. Yeah, that's okay.
I still do too.
And I guess my big purchase was.
Why is that a big one?
It was G.I. Joe. That was because that's got the 25th anniversary border on there. It's
right.
It's been popping now, and it's the newsprint edition. So there was the direct edition, which was $18, and it was $25. I got that one from Warren, and again, I used to have the entire G.I. Joe run. I'm slowly starting to pick it up, just like I had all the Transformers, all the Thundercats, the Silverhawks, the Visionaries, that type of stuff.
But do you have the silent issue of G.I. Joe number 21?
Not anymore. I don't have any. I'm starting to now collect them again. And if current me could go back in time and slap younger at that time me around, I just wouldn't have got rid of any.
Well, Dennis, current Andy can slap current Dennis if you like.
That would be true. That would be true. Although current Dennis slaps back.
Oh. I gotta say, what would this be in really nice condition? Because just taking it out, 25, the way the pages are and stuff.
Yeah,
this thing must be a lot more.
I kind of overpaid for it.
Oh, that's a Mike's cover.
That's okay,
though.
Warren. If you're watching, I overpaid for you, so have a burger on me.
Have a burger on me. Yeah, I got the silent issue.
But that was some pretty fun stuff. Snake Eyes is picking up steam. He is.
Well, that's like that silent issue, man. I've seen that thing really go up in price, and I got it a few years back it was still like $45-50 when I bought it. But it's almost double that now.
Yep. So anyway, that's what we picked up. We didn't get anything earth-shattering, although I did.
Batman's by Don Newton. That's pretty freaking earth-shattering.
So I got a couple of good ones. I had sent a couple out, and you guys didn't know because I didn't mention it in my podcast, in any of them.
Oh, my shirt's all droopy.
This is the Greg Horn. This is Aliens #1. I'm just trying not to get glare on it. Came back in 9.6. I love this cover. I really enjoyed. I've got I got his cover.
9.6 though. I mean, honestly, you should be ashamed of yourself.
I know, right?
9.6.
And then I did get this one came back a little bit better. What we were expecting, 9.8. We thought both of them were going to come back 9.8s. So I have to go read the grader's notes, but these are beautiful covers. I loved it. Bird City Comic exclusive. Greg Horn had done them, and it looks great. I loved it, so I was thrilled to get these back. So when we did the big Brat and Cheese Fest, he brought them over, and I finally got them back. So pretty happy.
So over the weekend, Dennis had that Brat and Cheese Fest, and he was cutting a lot of cheese.
I was. We did the Carolina Reaper cheese, the Scorpion Pepper cheese. We had some heat on this cheese.
What is the going rate for grading? What do you mean? What does it cost to grade a book?
So if it's a current book, like a modern, figure you're probably going to spend about $40. That's what I was going to say. To get it on a modern. If you start dealing with the older ones, when you're dealing I think it's like 1976, it starts to get quite a bit pricier. So the older the book, so. Yeah. So for the modern stuff, you can expect about $40. And if you want to fast track it, it's like another 20, 25.
Right.
So, depending on if you're trying to get them in for a show or something like that, most of us, we're just not going to do it because I'm not buying these just turn around and sell them.
Nope. All right, let's add this to the stream. It's shill time. Guys, First Man 2, Volume 2, Learning Curve is officially launched. We are picking up steam with the campaign. If you haven't backed it yet, please do. Let's watch the video together. Oops. Of course, I clicked the thing on that screen, not this one. I've seen the dancing.
Really? They like that dancing?
I do. It's like a seizure.
They can't hear us, can they?
Oh, I'm having epileptic.
Because it's starting to remind me of Julie Louise Dreyfus from Seinfeld doing the dance. That's what your dancing reminds me of. You got nothing on MC Hammer. Just, can't touch this. Can't touch this, really.
Who's that guy?
I know, we're going to find out as soon as you finish it.
Yeah, it is. First Man 2, Learning Curve is the title of the story. Luke Henry has to learn how to become a superhero, learn how to use his powers, and juggle school life as well. He's a college freshman, lives with his mom and dad. They're the only people that know about this secret that he's a superhero. The Fourth World Foundation comes a-calling because they created this being called Adonis, and they need First Man's help. Or do they? So guys, check it out. There's another Bart Sears variant cover if you're into that. The book itself is $25. Bart's is $35. You can get 1 and 2 for $50 if you missed volume 1. So guys, check it out. The higher it goes, the more stretch goals get unlocked, the more free stuff you get with the book. So there it is, people. There
Whoop,
it is.
Woohoo! Let's get a whoop whoop.
Let's get a whoop whoop. Oh no, you know what we need?
What do we need?
Yeah, we do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, people love it. You can be one of those in the crowd cheering. All right, we got a lot of stuff to cover. We're going to burn through the books that came out this week.
It is Wednesday, so what did the boys get? Now that you saw what we got on our road trip, now we get to see what we got this week. Andy, which one did you get?
I got nothing this week.
Whoa!
It's a sad tale. I was going to get Shazam #1. I love Shazam. I often reference Shazam as an influence for First Man with the whole Billy Batson changing. Luke Henry changes in the First Man. Anyhow, I flipped through it. Funny thing, it's a #1 issue of Shazam. I think it's a limited series, but it doesn't matter. It's a #1 issue, and Shazam is on like 4 pages of the story, and that's it. The rest is Billy Batson and the Teen Titans make a cameo. And I'm like, hey, you want to hook a reader? How about you put Shazam on 2/3 of the pages,
right,
and Billy Batson on the other third? Not the other way around.
You know,
title of the book is not Billy Batson.
It's Shazam #1, and it's funny thing is, I picked it up because I also like Shazam, and the B cover was fantastic. And I'm like, oh, I picked it up off the shelf. I'm like, yep, I'm picking this up. I love this cover. I says, I want to see who Shazam's going to be fighting in this. So I started flipping through it, and I'm like, where's Shazam? And I'm like, oh my God, bait and switch. And I'm like, so I also then turned around and went, whoop, set it right back down. I'm like, yep, I don't need this Shazam series. So I checked out immediately.
Yeah, DC, that's not a way to hook the reader.
Yeah.
So anyhow, Thor annual, that's a Dennis.
Yep, Thor versus Thor. I mean, I'm going to be curious to see what this is. It's a one-off. It's an annual. You know, I don't mind annuals. I've kind of collected them over the years, so as long as it's a good story, I don't care that it doesn't actually tie in.
Somebody's getting a beat down. Thor versus Thor.
Yeah.
Which Thor wins?
Marauders, it's an X title. Yeah, Marauders has still been pretty decent. I've liked it. It's been one of my favorites on it. New Mutants kind of.
Is it really still holding its steam?
You know, we're gonna see where this one goes. This kind of cover kind of reminds me of the Bill.
That's what I was gonna say. It's very Bill Sienkiewicz.
Yes, it very much is. Which of course I absolutely love that run of it when he did it and everything like that. So yeah, New Mutants. We'll find out. I'm gonna get caught up with it. Moon Knight #1 came out. So yeah. Let's find out, what is Marvel going to do with Moon Knight? Is it finally going to be worthy of the exorbitant price that Moon Knight commands for not even having a movie yet?
That's right. Guardians, you're always sticking with that.
Yeah,
16 in.
That has been fun. It's been enjoyable. I'm going to keep up with it as long as they keep doing a good job with it.
Aliens, of course.
This has been a very solid, and I love that cover.
Yeah,
I wound up doing this cover was really good again. The story's been good. The art's been really good. I mean, this has been Marvel, to my surprise, has done a really good job. They let them go with this and do good creative work in there. So kudos.
Oh, Radiant Black, nice and tiny.
Yeah, wow, that is. That's been an incredibly fun book. We get to find out who is under the Radiant Black mask in this one, or the red mask. So, you know, there was a big twist that I'm not going to reveal here. A couple of issues ago, changed the entire direction of this book. They did a good job with it.
Nice. Oh my God, Dennis, what are you doing to me?
These were standard. I don't know why. Of course, I was surprised you didn't pick this one up. X-Men Legends.
No, I'm off the bandwagon of X-Men Legends. I like Todd's artwork, but, you know.
It's Peter David.
I know.
This one takes place, I think, between issues 75 and 76 of X Factor. So, you know what? I love that kind of stuff. I don't mind it as long as they write it well, and I think they will. So I've enjoyed it so far.
All right, let's shrink it back to bye.
The Incredible Shrinking Book.
Oh, good Lord.
What is going on this week?
I don't know.
It's all the same.
I don't know what you did.
Well, the Many Deaths of Layla Starr have been a kind of a surprise hit. I'm going to be doing a full review, getting everybody caught up to steam when we get back from our convention this weekend.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's been good.
Nope, not small enough yet. Got to get it right back down to the size.
All the way down. Look at that.
Yep.
It is. It's like Ant-Man.
There.
Oh my God! Something happened in the conversion.
Shadecraft.
Another solid book, dealing with the supernatural. Something happens after death. This has been a mildly surprising good book. So another one that I've already done a full review. I'll be doing another one up to date on that one. Yeah, something happened in the conversion to all of them.
Yes, it
Marjorie Finnegan, I actually didn't get it. I was supposed to. It got shorted, so I'm very bummed about that one.
Oops.
I've got the first two. Loved it. This has been a very fun book. So, yep, I'm in on this one on the long haul. So Tony figures he's gonna get the other ones back this next week. So I'll have it, very soon.
Nice. Vampirella, we know you bought
Perillo.
it for the cover. Yeah, you bought it for the cover,
It's
which is
Perillo.
fine. This guy's a fantastic cover artist, so if you're going to collect something for the cover, this is definitely a good one.
I'd love
That's
to own
gorgeous.
the original art on these just because
Oh my
he's
God.
just so good.
It's so nice.
I wouldn't have enough wall space.
It's so nice. We could buy one. You have enough wall space.
Silver City, another interesting concept, again, dealing with the afterlife. I did the quick flip and a full review on it. This has been very fun. I've really enjoyed this.
Dennis, what do you think of Usagi Yojimbo 20 that came out weeks going to second print with the first appearance of a major character? I see it going for up to $30. Really?
Yeah, I ditched all my Usagi stuff. I've got a couple of guys that I know that are huge into it. It's one of these, and right now the market is being driven by speculators. So if there's any major book that has a new major character, the books just go off the shelf. I mean, people are speculating, and even if there's a rumor or a thought that a new character is going to come out, they're going to buy it, and they're just going for stupid money. Now, one of two things will happen. If it winds up being a really cool character, the book will continue to go up, and it'll be worth picking it up. If it winds up being, if you remember, like when Marvel did all like I think it was an Extinction, when they did all of those annuals and they came out with all those new characters, they were all stupid, and they're all, you can find them in the dollar bins now. So it could go either way. We don't know. I don't know who it is because I haven't been reading it.
There you go.
I should, because it actually isn't bad, but I just don't anymore.
Project Patron.
Another, I have really enjoyed this for a superhero book. It's got one hell of a twist, and you guys can get caught up on my full review I did on it. I love where this is going. What a cool twist, and it's a good, interesting whodunit type superhero book.
And I will say the artwork is really nice. I'm actually going to get it in trade paperback so I can read it in one sitting. The artwork looks phenomenal. So so there you have that. Bermuda is a new book by John Layman and Nick Bradshaw.
We all know him from Chew, and we all know Nick from, of course, like Wolverine and from the Marvel stuff. This is interesting. We all know that, the Bermuda Triangle, where, all the planes and ships and people tend to disappear. Well, where do they go once they go through? Well, apparently there's an island, and there's a 16-year-old girl who lives on this island, and she's a survivor, and it's all about where they show up. But something strange is happening, and it's going to be the story of her on this island dealing with all of this. So it's an interesting concept, because there are times where we've been like, where does that ship actually go when it disappears? Does it actually go somewhere, another dimension? We don't know. This is going to explore a thought, a little story on it. So I picked it up. I like the artwork. So, I'm hoping it's good.
There you go.
Now, another one that I wasn't even on my list, I looked through it today. I like the artwork, and I kind of flipped through it. It's I just like the way that it was done. It's basically going to be about a guy who can heal people, but when he heals them, he just doesn't take away, like if you've got a cut or an injury, he almost absorbs it. He siphons off their pain, but it affects him. He takes their misery and absorbs it, but then he has to deal with the consequences of it. So it's an interesting concept. It's not like it's brand new, but I want to see where they go with it. This could be a really cool book, or maybe not. We'll find out.
Oh, Dennis likes this book because it deals with lesbians.
The artwork is good in this book.
The artwork, joking aside, the artwork in this book is really, 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 really nice.
Yeah,
and it fits. This is the problem I have with Marvel. Not all their books, but some of them is they'll take an artist like this, who is this. The art in this book is fantastic. I think it's a woman that draws it, and it fits the story. But Marvel will take an artist like this and go, oh yeah, you can draw superhero stuff. And no offense, but I don't want to see superheroes that look like this. But for this story, I think the art is perfectly matched up.
Yep. The story, I think this is probably going to be my last issue on it. I'm going to do a full review on it. Even on my other reviews that I've done up to this point, it's been very mixed on it. I mean, it's dealing with, it's a lesbian. She starts dealing with, moving in. It's her experiences and things like that. There's some interesting stuff on it. And I thought, it is marketed towards the LGBTQ, and it started off pretty interesting, and then what happens if certain things happen. They go to San Francisco. It was supposed to be this really funny comedy with forbidden love type of thing. Not my normal type of a book, but the first one I thought was pretty well done. yeah, it's kind of doing this. I'm going to read this one, but I'm probably going to be done after this.
The artwork is by, because it says her name on the cover. I'm just going to get my mouse back over here. Elisa Romboli, and like I said, the artwork is very, very nice.
Yeah.
So there's that. Let's move on to announced Armor Wars.
Armor Wars. So if you guys haven't seen the announcement yet, because Don Cheadle's got an Emmy nomination and stuff like that, and now they are going to begin the Armor Wars series. I thought it was going to be a movie, but it looks like it's going to be a series. I'm an Iron Man fan, have been. I loved the Armor Wars. Silver Centurion armor, still my favorite armor. I absolutely love this time frame, period of Iron Man. So I am crossing my fingers that this winds up being a really good show. They takes a lot of the source material, hopefully, to heart, and that they don't try and change too much of it. I'm excited for the prospect that they could do a good job with it.
It's so far off, though, because didn't he say, because we watched a little video clip, didn't he say they start filming it next year?
Well, yeah.
Which means that
they're in pre-production right now of the writings. And
what I'm saying is, if they're not filming this till 2022, this thing's not coming out till 2023 probably.
Yeah.
So it's a ways off.
Yeah.
It's a ways off. So
yeah.
Lots can happen. I could become rich, and then who cares?
Yeah.
Black Widow.
What an interesting, if you guys want to see our review, you can go back and see our Black Widow review and everything like that.
Check this. Black Widow ticket buying suddenly drying up. Growing questions for Disney's Marvel about what did it end. I told Dennis earlier in the week, I said, did you see how much Black Widow dropped off? I think the opening weekend was a couple $100 million, and it dropped down to $26 million for a second weekend. Freaking that crap Space Jam with LeBron James beat it.
Oh, and that so a couple of things on that. So yeah, it was $200 million total, $80 million domestically. And
80 million domestic is still really good.
It is good, and 200 million total, especially being in we can call it the current / post-pandemic era.
Right.
That was a really good take, and I thought, wow, obviously people like the movie a little bit better than I did. I said, wow, if Week 2 holds up with these numbers, I think Marvel's got their groove back, and I was kind of serious on this. Lo and behold, Marvel, going into Week 2, Black Widow was expected to be the #1 hit.
Yeah.
And it dropped down to #2 because it dropped 67%, earned $26.25 million, which was exactly right behind Space Jam. Now, I know quite a few people that went and saw Space Jam, and they hated it, absolutely hated it. So, yeah.
Just a friendly reminder that ScarJo is just a gender swap young Christopher Walken. Check it out if you haven't seen it. What?
I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen that.
Now
either.
you have piqued an interest here.
What is that?
Send a link if you can.
Yeah, pop a link or something. That's got to be a YouTube thing. I don't know.
I have not seen that, but
yeah. I know some people are chalking it up to Disney streaming it at the same time. So people, because I know a few people that watched it and paid for it on the Disney Plus. They paid the $30 to watch it. We didn't. We went and saw it in the theater. Courtney and I, Dennis saw it in the theater too. It's one of the first times he was out of state, so we didn't see it at the same time. It'll blow your mind. Now I got to see it.
I know. I can't wait.
So, I think Disney streaming it might have had some impact on the second week, but I don't think it had a 67% drop impact. I really think that once word got out about the gender swap and a Taskmaster, spoiler alert, it just annoyed people. It annoyed fans to the point of saying, you know what? It'll be on Disney regular streaming within probably a few months. I'll just wait.
Yeah.
I'll just wait.
Yep. And honestly, I think there's truth to that because going back to our review again, I gave it a 6.5. I thought Act 1 was fantastic. Act 2 was Marvel. Act 3 was crap. And the crap is at the end of the movie, and it left a bad impression in my mouth. And I even said, I don't need to see this again. I especially don't need to purchase this. This will be the first Marvel movie that I have not purchased. And that unfortunately is where I'm kind of headed on it.
But I don't see this movie. I don't know. Do you even see it surpassing 500 million?
Not anymore. No,
Yeah, I just can't, because if it hit 26 this weekend, second weekend, man, the weekend coming up in a few days, I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's probably down to 15.
Yeah, because the single biggest second week drop in Marvel history was Ant-Man and Wasp, and I liked that movie.
Yeah, that was good.
And that had a 62% drop. So yeah, this is 5% worse. And it could have been. They had an extra year and a half. They could have done so much more with it. They went with a particular agenda formula. Well, they got what they got, and I'm bummed because I probably will not be buying this anymore. And we'll see. This may not bode well for Phase 4 for me.
Well, the thing is, so I don't know if you heard this, but supposedly all the TV shows on Disney Plus, Loki and WandaVision and Falcon Winter Soldier.
Yeah,
there are no plans to put those on DVD because Disney just wants to keep them streaming.
They'll keep it streaming. Yep.
So people have to pay for the streaming.
Yep.
So
yep.
I thought that was interesting.
Well, and I think this topic ties very well into kind of our next little topic here, and that is going to be Loki. We finished Loki. We have to at least talk about the finale of Loki. And I've got a feeling you and I are going to be on opposite ends of it because my brother and I, we're sure.
You and I are. No, I don't think so. I thought the ending was great. The ending was definitely the best part. Hyper Kaiju, welcome to the show. How are you? Thank you for joining. No, I thought the ending was fantastic. There is going to be spoilers. It looks like it was Kang. So I thought that was really cool. But man, that diatribe in the middle of Loki and what's her face? I'm so bad with names. What's her name?
Female Loki.
Sylvie. Loki, Sylvie, and basically Kang just sitting there in the dude's office talking for the middle of the show. Oh my God.
So
I wanted to eat a bullet. It was so boring.
I almost fell asleep. After Endgame, I'm out. I would have told younger me that I'd be spoiled with superhero stuff, and I'm walking away. If I was body swap, guess the new body is working out well. I think we're kind of there with you on this, and I know we might be in the minority on this.
It depends. I'm not giving up on it.
My take on it was this. It reminded me I was bored to tears.
It was so boring.
And at first, I was like, it's Star Wars episodes 1, 2, and 3 when the Senate, we're just going to sit around and talk about everything.
It was so much exposition, and you're like, if this was a comic book, well, some comics have gone this way where it's just people talking instead of showing.
Right.
And then they get away with, we showed. Remember, he made those little dancing creatures on the desk so you could see the backstory. It's like, give me a break.
But
put the money into it and actually show flashback stuff.
But then, as towards the end, as they kept explaining things to us.
Oh, I don't want to be mansplained.
No, you know what it was? I changed my mind. Instead of being bored in Star Wars, it was The Matrix Reloaded. When they got to the core and the old guy was sitting there and he was explaining about how you're actually a glitch and how this is working. Right. And I went, oh my God, this is The Matrix Reloaded. He is the old white-haired guy that's been sitting in there, in control, and he's tired of it. He's old. I'm like, oh my God, it's almost the same story plot.
Right.
And I'm like, that was my least favorite Matrix movie. And here it was in Loki. Man, it was awful.
Andy wants the money shot. Hashtag confirm. You're damn right I do. Like I said, the ending was good, and it will bring me back for season 2 because I liked how, Morpheus, Owen Wilson, didn't know who Loki was because of the time stream. He was on a different time stream. I thought that was really cool. It's just that the middle of it, second act, was just bad. I read old back issues instead of watching this new stuff. Hyper Kaiju, you missed the beginning of the show, brother. At the comic show over the weekend, I was filling up on my Batmans by Don Newton collection.
You'll have to go back and watch and see what we got at the shows. You'll like the old comics.
Except for Kool-Aid Man.
No, you'll like
hate
Kool-Aid
that.
Man.
No, you'll hate it. So I don't know, man. I don't give...
I don't even know if I want to... Here's my issue with this. There were all of these questions. The only thing that was actually explained was, oh, Kang's coming, which unleashing many versions of Kang. So no matter what happens in it, we know we're getting different versions of Kang. Good King, bad King, and different King. Who knows? But none of the other threads, all the question marks we had, were actually answered. They just are basically saying, here, stay tuned for season 2. Then there's the after credit scene that I'm like, okay, well, maybe it'll do more. I love the ending where we got to see it, King, and how it's going to bloom everything into it. I liked that.
Right.
But then it was like, okay, here's the after credit scene. Stamp. Loki's returning in season 2. I'm just done. I'm just done. I was bored. However, like I said, we're in the minority because 1.9 million U.S. households streamed the season finale, which is the best for any of the Marvel shows right now. So people enjoyed it.
No, not necessarily.
Well,
here's why I say that. Because you and I streamed it, and we're bitching about it right now, but we're in that group. So how many people? Oh, wow. Is that for the whole season?
So to give you the point.
That's for the whole season?
Yeah, that's for the season.
Yeah, I wouldn't rate that high.
Rotten Tomatoes, the critics gave it a 92%, and the audience gave it an 86%.
Those critics are sucking a little Disney.
I am nowhere near that. No. I am giving the season an overall a 5.0. There were some good episodes, some poor episodes, and the ending I thought was wretched, except for the actual part with Kang where they explain what's going to happen. Right. I loved how they did that little piece of it. Owen Wilson and Tom Hiddleston, when they were on the screen, they made the show. I mean, that was the extent of what I thought was great about the show. Anyway, I'm giving it a 5.0 for the whole season. And I'm very indifferent about season 2 right now.
No, I mean, I'm giving it a 7.0 for the whole season just because I didn't mind the previous episodes. I kind of enjoyed it. It was just that last episode with all that, just that room of them talking and stuff was just killer. But I'll give it a 7.0. And I do think it's going to lead into the Multiverse of Madness.
It is.
And then that'll probably end with something that'll maybe lead in for season 2 of this. I don't know if season 2 will be out next year, though. That's the funny thing. Well, because of just timing when it comes to shooting stuff.
The one good news that I'm taking out of this is What If, the series is coming out. Now, you all know I'm a huge fan of the What If comic books, all the series. I just love it. I love the whole concept behind it. I love that they're one-shot issues. My original take was, well, these are just going to be one shot. I'm going to watch it because I love them.
Right.
However, being the fact that now these what ifs are all going to be theoretically designed because of different timelines, different universes, this at least sets up the fact that what if could have meaning, that these what ifs might not just be worthless or just fun little standalones. There actually could be meaning and consequences behind them.
I haven't watched any Loki. I mean, if you have Disney Plus, go
it
ahead
doesn't
and watch
cost you
it.
anything other than 6 hours of your life.
If you don't have Disney Plus, then skip it. What If is the best. I hope they do it well. I think the animation looks cool. So
it does. I am crossing my fingers. That right now is going to be my hope for my favorite of the shows that have been announced. And again, I'll wait for Armor Wars when that comes out because I really want that to be good.
Well, actually, I'm kind of looking forward to Hawkeye.
Yeah, well, if Hawkeye, so this is going
You
to
know,
go back
because
to
that
Black
girl,
Widow.
what's her face from Black Widow, the new Widow. I can't remember the actress.
Yeah, Yelena.
Yeah, she going by IMDb, she's in every episode of Hawkeye.
Yes. So my hope is, since the Black Widow movie screwed us over by understanding Budapest because they didn't show us shit from Budapest,
Right.
my hope is Hawkeye, the TV show, the series, will give us what the movie did not. And that would be the answers to what happened in Budapest. But it would have to be done through flashbacks, because if she's in it, I don't know. We'll find out. I'll give it a chance because I do like Hawkeye.
Yeah, totally.
All right. Now for the good news of the episode. If you guys are unaware, if you like horror movies, Fear Street. Netflix has a trilogy of movies that came out basically simultaneously.
Well, they came out a week apart.
A week apart.
Yeah.
Basically simultaneously.
Not really.
Starts with 1994, goes to 1978, and then 1666.
Oh, you got it right. All
I
week.
always get
All
it right.
week he's gone, and then it goes to 1866. And I'm like, Dennis,
Seriously?
it's 1666 because of the 1666.
Where's your mirror? Where's your mirror?
Okay, it was me.
He's as
screwing
bad
it
with
up.
dates as he is with names.
Everything. My memory sucks. Cocaine is bad. No, I never snorted. Even though I do have a big nose, and it would have went right up there.
Yeah, he doesn't snort it. He just puts it around his margarita glass.
That's right. Yeah, so I actually told Dennis about this. I watched the first one, and I wasn't really going to watch it. I saw the trailers leading up to it, and I was just like, I don't really care. Plus, the whole concept of going backwards, I was just like, I don't know. I probably won't watch it. And then, this first one dropped. Nothing else was on. So I watched it. And I was like, holy shit. That was really freaking good. It has the feel of, to me, it kind of had the feel of a good old classic Friday the 13th movie.
See, and for me, it was Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh, yeah.
I had the feeling of,
Yeah.
minus the Freddy Krueger, but it was
Right.
Nightmare on Elm Street-ish.
Right.
I
Yeah,
love
I
it.
can see that.
Yeah.
I can get that.
But the storyline for the first one is, and it's a very simple plot, of course, a circle of teenage friends accidentally encounters the ancient evil responsible for a series of brutal murders that have plagued their town for over 300 years. Welcome to Shady Side.
Shady side.
Well, now, that sounds like a typical hack slash kind of film, and in some ways it is. But man, it's fun. This is a gory,
well, that's
fun
just
movie.
it. It's fun. It is a horror movie, but is it? Because I didn't. It's like
It's not really horror.
It's not really
more
horror because there's not
supernatural
really jump scares or anything.
right.
It is gory. I mean, look, I was telling Dennis, dude, when you watch this, some of the killing that they show in the movie, and they're like, yeah, we need to take it up a notch. This ain't 1976 Friday the 13th. We need to take this shit up a notch, and they
Right.
did.
Right. My wife watched it with me, and she's not into like Halloween, Friday the 13th. She'll watch them once in a while. She was hooked. And she goes, oh. And I'm like, really?
But it also-
You actually like this?
It also wasn't one of the horror comedies like that have come out lately.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's definitely a drama,
Yes.
but it's more suspense than it is horror. And it's funny when I tell my daughter that, she's like, "It's the same thing, Dad." And I'm like, "It's not. Suspense and horror are two different things." I'm going to have to check. You do need to check it out. And the good thing is they're all out. So if you've got 7 hours to kill, you can literally watch them back to back on Netflix because they'll just queue up the next one. Whereas I had to wait week to week.
Yeah. Now, the funny thing is, this is actually based on R.L. Stein's books. And of course, even my daughter was like, "You mean Goosebumps?" Oh, no, this is not Goosebumps. And it's actually funny. In the first movie, they go into this bookstore and you see all of these books that are on the shelves. And then you see everything is Robert Lawrence. that's R.L. Stein's real name, so it's kind of
Oh,
funny.
is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know
so they
that.
actually gave him like credit right into the bookstore because it was all the Robert Lawrence books and stuff like that. But you know, it's about a high school group of kids, and you're gonna enjoy getting to see them. You know,
The
as
main
with all
character's
Net,
awesome.
yeah, she is. As with all Netflix, they've got boxes that they have to check. You know, do we have our LGBTQ? Yes. Do we have some, you know, interracial bad things happen? Yes. You know, go through. They've got their little check boxes because if it's on Netflix, they have to. As long as you can get past that, this is a kind of a fun and intriguing story. So the first one. Then we jump back to 1978.
In 1978 takes place at a summer camp, you know, a camp for teenagers and little kids. You know, I'd say age range from like, 10 is the youngest, probably 10
Yep.
or 11, you know, up to 16, 17 years old. Camp counselors, probably 18. So they are definitely working more of a, that one definitely is more of a Friday the 13th feel to it with the killer. It so obviously works in with the mystical stuff and the whole story of the witch, basically, that it is kind of awakened and possesses people.
So the storyline in the second one is, again, it's very simple. Shadyside, 1978. School's out for the summer, and activities at Camp Nightwing, maybe a nod to Batman, are about to begin. But when another shady sider is possessed with the urge to kill, the sun and the fun becomes a gruesome fight for survival. Again, it feels just like you said, Friday the 13th.
It feels like Friday the 13th, yeah.
But there's so much more to it. There's depth in it, and the story. They do such a good job. You find out, yeah, it's not nearly as simple as what we think it is.
Right, and they each one unlocks more pieces, and even though each movie goes back to a different, you know, it goes from 94 to 78. I mean, that's 16 years right there into the past. And you're like, how are they going to do this? But they do. They keep like peeling back layers of like an onion. And then in the last one, 1666.
Right, because this actually is a different set of characters because it's like their parents. So you can see what happens from that generation. Because Gillian Jacobs is in it, and you're looking at her going, "Is that?" She looks totally. She's not a redhead. I'm like, what? She's got brown. No. Oh yeah, it is. It's her from Community, and I'm like, whoa, she's in this. And I've always kind of liked her from Community.
Yeah.
They great actresses and actors that they got playing in this one.
Yep.
Now we go back to what year?
1666. We finally get to see the witch, and I say that with quotations, and you finally get basically the origin. And then what they did was, because this is where my confusion was, I was like, well, if this goes back to 1666 for the third one, what are they going to do to wrap up what happened in 94? And this isn't a spoiler because there's no story content with what I'm about to say, but halfway through, they wrap up the 1666 part and then go back to 1994 to wrap up.
Because it fills in everything. So the storyline in that one is the origins of Sarah Fear's curse are finally revealed, and the history comes full circle on a night that changes the life of Shady Siders forever. And it's true because we were sitting there, my wife and I were like, well, if this wraps up, how are they going to figure out what happens? Is there a fourth movie? And I'm like, no, there's no other movies. I'm confused. So I'm like, I don't know. Oh, part two. They wrap it up. They bring it around full circle. They tell it in an enjoyable, gory, but a very enjoyable, well thought out, you know, story. Some of the things they do are a little wonky, but they presented. This was a good overall.
And the other thing they did too was they took pretty much all the main actors from 1994, the first one, all the main actors from 1978, and they had them play different characters in 1666.
Right.
And so you got to see the actors.
The storyline at the origins going in 1600, because we're thinking Salem witch trials, stuff like that. And they put that in there, but you're right. All of those characters they bring together as different entities, different characters and stuff in there, and it works. It totally works.
Yeah. Well, the basic gist is the main character. What was her name? Sarah.
Yeah.
The main character, Sarah, from the first movie, basically, through magic, whatever you want to call it, relives what happens to the witch in 1666, and she sees it all through her eyes. So when they cut back to 1994, she has the full story now of what happened in her head, so she can kind of figure out what to do to stop everything bad that's happening in Shadyside.
Yep. We're going to wrap it up with their CGC grades. I thoroughly enjoyed it. The characters are believable. The storyline is well thought out. It's fun. You got to have a stomach for some good Saw type horror and grossness and grotesque.
Love it.
As long as you can get through that, it's enjoyable. The characters are relatable. You kind of root for some and wish pain on the others. I'm giving this the series, and I'm just going to lump them together, because if you're going to watch it, you're going to watch.
Oh yeah.
And you have to. I'm giving it an 8.5. I thought it was very well done. Not what I was expecting from an R.L. Stine type of a thriller, but 8.5. I would probably watch this again.
That's solid, because
in the future.
I was going to say a 9.0, or I am going to say a 9.0. I thought it was so beyond my expectations going in, because I was like, all right, it's going to be some slasher, horror movie that obviously, whatever the threat is, obviously originates in 1666, so they're just telling it backwards. But it was so much more than that.
Yeah.
And the characters, like Dennis said, the lead character, Sarah, you came to really like her character. And, she did have a nice little growth spurt as a character through the movie. And then other characters that you began to like as it went on, and they fleshed out the story more, you became you were like, nope, I don't like this person anymore.
Or do you? That's just it. It always kind of makes you wondering. So you're always guessing. So it's fun. Watch it. Let us know what you guys think. Maybe you like it, maybe you won't. I don't know if it's your type of a genre. Tomato meter, I'm on the 1666 one. The critics loved it at 93, and the audience gave it an 82. So they're kind of right in there with us. The first one was solid, but it gets better. So I will say the first one was my least favorite, but it was good enough where it made me want to see the second one.
That's a good question. What was my least favorite? Yeah, I don't know. I never gave it any thought until you said that. Like, which would be your least favorite if you had to rank them? I did think 1666 was the best one. I guess I'm kind of right there with you, because I liked 1666 the best, and then I did like 1978 second best. But I don't want to rank them, though, because I don't want to put down the first one because it was good.
Right.
Like, if it was just if they tied everything up at the end of the first one, I would have been content with it as a standalone horror movie.
Right.
You
know how I like to when I critique things, it's because it's usually typical in a movie. Act 1, Act 2,
Right.
Act 3.
Right.
Movie 1 is Act 1.
Right.
It was solid. It was. I gave it a 6.5, maybe a 7.
Yeah.
Act 2 was better. I really enjoyed that. I gave that about a 7.5, 8. And then Act 3, I actually would go 8.5 to a 9, maybe a 9.2. And altogether, that's why I came up with an 8.5.
Yeah.
It got better. So watch it, see what you guys think. Let us know. Maybe you agree with us. Maybe you don't.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. I never thought about looking at it like that. Let's do this, guys. We're closing out the show with Andy Smith's That's Me, First Man 2 Learning Curve. It's my new graphic novel continuing the adventures of Luke Henry as First Man as he learns to become the hero he needs to be, and juggling college life while living at home with mommy and daddy that also know that he is a superhero. And it doesn't matter that he's a 7 feet tall buff dude. Dad still smacks him around. Here we have a page where Dad's, just trimming some bushes, doing that dad type of work. Luke Henry, first man, comes home. He's like, Dad, I got that for you, boss. Lights the bushes on fire. Dad's like, oh, come on, man. Seriously? Get out of here. Go to your room.
Some PB&J action.
That's right. It doesn't matter that he's 7 feet tall like that. He transforms back, goes in. If you like the humor of Spider-Man, if you like the Silver Age stories of Captain Marvel with cosmic stuff, if you like Shazam, this is the type of book for you. 64-page, square-bound graphic novel. Back it today. We've already met the first stretch goal. Oh, look at that Bart Sears variant cover. Bart always comes through for me. You got the parody ad is back. I love doing the parody ads.
It's good.
Head sketch tier, full figure tier. You can get the program book again. Unlock the first stretch goal for an oversized 4x6 trading card. So definitely check it out. Take care, everyone. Andy, see you on Graham later. I will see you later tonight, buddy. So check it out, guys. It's because of you and your support that we can get these projects out to you directly to your hands. So please check it out. And, we hope you enjoyed the show. What's that?
Oh, that's so nice of you.
That is so nice. Just wow. I mean, just really wow. I mean, so nice of you guys to enjoy the show that much. We love you guys. We love entertaining. We will not be doing a show Friday. Friday, we are driving to Savannah, Georgia for a 2-day convention. I'm a guest at the show. Dennis is coming with me. We're setting up our Dennis and Andy Show banner. I'm setting up my Penumbra banner that you guys see on my morning show.
We're crossing our fingers. We have good internet where we can do some live streaming for the convention. So let's hope.
Yep. So we're hoping to live stream from Savannah, Georgia this weekend. We will see you guys later. And thank you again for joining. Until next time, bye, everybody.